Hi everyone, so today we're at Whittlebury Hall Golf Club and I'm actually on the captain's away day for this weekend, so I'm doing a video on the golf course from their par 3 course, just showing you ways to approach par 3s that maybe you've not played before. So the first thing I would always do is I'd laser the distance we've got from where we are to the flag. If you use those sorts of devices, if you don't use like a SkyCaddie or a Garmin watch, just find out what is the front, middle and back. Once you've got that information, then we can start looking at the rest of the hole. So the hole we've got here is 143 yards long. There's a bunker on the left. There's not much danger down the right or short right. So the way we've got this shot playing at the moment is this downwind, slightly downhill. So this shot's actually playing about 140. With that prevailing wind, probably about more like 135. So I'm going to hit my 135 club, which for me is going to be a 9-iron. And based on where this pin's cut, which is on the right-hand side of the tee, I'm going to actually pick up on the left-hand side. So make it feel like I'm hitting more towards the flag and away from the danger. So I'm going to be on the left-hand side of this tee box. And as always, once I've got myself done, I can get myself ready for my full pre-shot routine. So my tee shot's come up slightly short of the green, and approaching this, there's really one of 2 or 3 options. So we could putt, we could pitch, or we could chip and run this ball. Now putting's going to be quite difficult because I have this ridge running through, which is possibly a drainage marker, and it's slightly longer, a bit more indentated than if it was just edge of the green. So really I've only got a chip or a pitch. Now I've got loads of green, so really pitching it's not the most efficient way to play this shot. A chip and run's quite consistent as far as I can always land it in the same place, and really just have to work out what club I want to use. So I've got an 8-iron in my hands. Once I've chosen the club, I can then start to look at the way the ball's actually going to roll. So I can read this like a putt. So looking at the way this green's laying, it's going to go slightly uphill and then slightly right to left as it dives towards the hole. So I can pick my target to the right and allow for that break. So I've read it like a putt. All I'm doing is using a bit more loft to pop it over the edge of the grass and then let it run once it hits the green. So ball's back, weights forward, and really it's a putting stroke with the hands leading. So I'm not trying to add any loft to this shot. So I'm aiming just to the right of the hole, weight to my front foot. And as it slows down, it's going to start to break its way back towards the hole. So I've gone probably a club length past that hole, a little bit strong with the way I've hit the chip and just past my marker point, but overall more consistent than if I was going to try and play a pitch. So we jumped over to the 4th hole now, and so far the short course, it's given us 1 par 4 and 3 par 3s, and although not incredibly long, so with the holes we've played so far have been sort of 300 yards for the par 4, 135 on the first and 130 on the third. And we bring us to the 4th hole, which is 92 yards, so not long in any stretch of imagination. But what these courses do for you is they make you use your short game, and that's really where everyone's handicap down the most. I would urge to get yourself out to a 9-hole par 3 course, or even just a short course, and just play it with irons, just play with wedges, and really home in on those kind of skills, because that's what you're going to have around your home course when you start making the driver work better. And the better the woods are working, the more you're going to rely on the short game to get your scores down. But not only that, when the drivers aren't working, you're going to rely on this part to keep the scores as acceptable as possible. Certainly there are days where you're not going to hit the driver perfectly all the time, so you are possibly going to be chipping out, and then we're going to fall into this shot anyway. So it's well worth a practice on these kind of par 3 courses. So like I said, I've got 94 yards, so for me like a 3/4 gap wedge. Wind slightly off my right hand side, but nothing major. I've gone slightly long on the flag for my approach on this par 3, and what it's faced me with is this double tier. So what's quite common here is when you've got double tier, people feel like they have to just hit it hard to get it up that tier, but the problem for me is it's inconsistent. I want something a little bit more repeatable. So what I'd always urge people to do is pick a spot beyond the hole and imagine that's where they're trying to putt to. So treat it as completely flat, and just move your target further away. So by doing that, length of swing I'm going to do is increasing, not how hard or soft I'm doing it. So I'm only changing one variable, not two. So I've done the practice putts, looking just beyond the hole, and I can line myself up and let it go. And by doing that just past the hole, it's going to give me a better chance of consistently getting the speed and not altering what I'm doing on any given hole. Now back to a comment we made a little bit earlier on about playing these par 3 courses. I know not everyone's got access to those sorts of courses, but what you can do is use the course you already play at. Start the hole from the beginning of the fairway. Take yourself to a yardage that you're not comfortable with, maybe 100 yards or even 85 or less, and start the hole from there and treat it as a par 3 or even a par 2 if it's a very short hole. So you can make this sort of stuff work on any course, even your home course. If you go out in an even when it's quiet, just play it from the start of the fairway. It just changes the course enough for you to have to think about what you're about to do. Now we're not generally always interested about score. It's about actually getting some imagination about what shots you can play and what shots you can fit within your surroundings. So why not try it out? Give yourself a go. Things like the second and third at Bushel Park are always excellent from the start of the fairway because they make it either play as a very long par 3, and then you have to really focus on that the wedge works to get your score in, rather than focusing on how good the drive is all the time. Okay, so another interesting par 3 to talk about here. We have 140 yards, slightly uphill, slightly into wind. So on the face of it, it's probably playing about 145 to maybe 140, 47, 148. But I have bunkers short, right and left. Now the bunker short, because of the raised green, is actually more like a pot bunker, so it's a difficult bunker to get out of. The bunker left isn't too bad, but the bunker right is also a bit more like a pot bunker. So realistically, if I'm going to miss this anywhere, I want to miss this slightly towards the back edge of the green. So I'm going to play this as 150 yards, which even if I don't quite get all of it, is going to give me close to the right yardage, or if I do hit it really well, worst case, I'm just going to roll through the green and have a fairly easy chip coming back down. So I'm going to take my aim straight at the flag, straight into the wind, and make a nice committed swing right the way through to my target. Okay, so really the upshot of playing any new courses is new experiences. You spend a bit of time learning how the courses work, but just take a little bit of time on each tee box just to look at the whole layout, not just where you want the ball to go. Look where your next shot is going to go from. But it's great playing other courses. But what I would always suggest is make sure that when you're playing your own course, you treat it the same way. Don't just go for the 6-iron because you always hit a 6-iron. Actually look at what's going on that given day. So look at where the pin's cut, look where the danger is, and just have a rethink about how you normally play your own golf course. So, but for now, thanks for watching and happy golfing.